Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Jim Ryan, the president of the University of Virginia, and I'd just like to thank all of you for being here. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to all of you, and especially to the families and friends of Devin, Chandler, Lavel Davis Jr., and Deshaun Perry, as well as to the families and friends of Mike Hollins and Marley Morgan, who are on their way. Thanks also to our rector, Robert Hardy, and members of the Board of Visitors, to Carla Williams and UVA Athletics, and to the Office of Major Events for their support. The loss of Devin, Lavel, and Deshaun remains in many ways both raw and incomprehensible. It's still hard to accept the idea that this violence could happen on our grounds, that this could happen to young and vibrant people who were full of life and promise, that 3 lives could be cut short, that 2 of our students, Mike Hollins and Marley Morgan, could be gravely injured, all while coming back from a field trip to see a play in D.C. But those of us left behind must face this loss, even if it remains hard to comprehend or fully accept. We must do what we can to honor and remember those who were lost and those who were injured. We must support as best we can those still suffering and grieving, including family members, friends, teammates, teachers, and classmates, as well as those in the broader community who lived through some terrifying hours on the night of November 13th. We must, in other words, continue to support each other, just as we did in the hours and days after the tragedy, which brings us to today and to this ceremony. At UVA, we have a tradition of planting trees to honor the people and the moments that have shaped our history. Today, this tree and the bronze plaque that will accompany it will honor Devin, Deshaun, and Lavel, as well as all those who were affected by the events of November 13th, 2022. This tree will be planted, in a sense, for all of you, for all of us. It's my hope that this tree, planted with care, with love, and with one another, will help us to heal, that it will help us not to move on, as these students will never be forgotten, but to move forward, as Coach Elliott has wisely said. The tree we are planting was selected by our landscape architects, and I'd like to thank them because they've chosen very well. The tree is known as an overcup oak. The word overcup refers to the tree's acorns, which are unique because they are almost entirely covered over by the cup of the acorn, as if in a deep embrace. The tree itself, which is native to this area, can grow to more than 60 feet tall and live for hundreds of years. We plant this tree today for 3 intertwined reasons. We plant this tree first and foremost to remember. This oak, for as long as it stands, will help us all remember Devin, Lavel, and Deshaun and who they were as people. Devin from Virginia Beach, whose smile and infectious sense of humor won him friends wherever he went, and whose tendency to sing and dance whenever possible was matched only by his competitive spirit on and off the field. Lavel from South Carolina, who was committed to changing the world for the better, whether here in Charlottesville or in his beloved Ridgeville, and whose charisma, confidence, and dedication to progress impressed everyone he met. And Deshaun from Miami, a gentle and kind soul who had a great talent not only for football but also for art, and whose deep faith kept him grounded. This tree will remind us and those who come after us not just of their loss, but of their lives. We also plant this tree to give thanks. This oak is a symbol of our gratitude to the first responders, doctors, nurses, and law enforcement officers, whose professionalism and grace under pressure eased suffering. It's a symbol of our gratitude to student leaders who, in the midst of their own shock and grief, organized a vigil, attended by thousands who stood in silence and honored their classmates with light. Our gratitude to members of the football team who, along with Coach Elliott, paid heartfelt tribute to their fallen teammates at the memorial service. Our gratitude to Dr. Carla Williams, who has never wavered in her support of the families of the fallen and injured, of our football players, and of all student athletes and coaches. Our gratitude to the faculty, staff, alumni, pastors, counselors, and therapists who opened their homes, their hearts, and their talents to offer comfort and support to those who are suffering. Our gratitude to all who lent a hand, prayed for those affected by the shooting, and gave kindness to someone in this community who needed it. In short, this tree, which will be beautiful, grand, and not just strong, but UVA strong, this tree is a symbol of our deep gratitude for this incomparably strong and caring community. Finally, we plant this tree to embrace and reaffirm life itself, both the seen and the unseen, the joy and the sorrow, to encourage each other to pause, to reflect, and to connect to the miracle that is life, to notice, as the poet Mary Oliver once wrote, that around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches, and they call again, "It's simple." You too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine. Devin, Lavel, and Deshawn came into this world to be filled with light and to shine, and shine they did, sharing their light with all fortunate enough to see it. That light might be harder to see right now, but let this tree be a persistent and gentle reminder of it. It's for all these reasons that in addition to planting the tree, we also selected a bronze plaque that bears the following inscription. In memoriam, November 13th, 2022. The University of Virginia honors the lives of Devin Chandler, Lavel Davis Jr., and Deshawn Perry, 3 student athletes and members of the UVA football team who were tragically killed near this site on November 13th, 2022. Dedicated in their honor, this tree reminds us of their courage and their enduring impression on the UVA community, as well as the impact of this tragedy on others who were injured or otherwise affected. With its fortitude and resilience, this tree also exemplifies the community that found strength in the act of remembering, uplifting, and celebrating the lives that were lost. The University of Virginia family will forever remember these young men, their illustrious accomplishments, and the legacy they have left behind for the community that held them in such high esteem. 1/15/41, September 2023. Tomorrow, as you know, UVA will host its first football game since last November. We will come together to pay tribute to Devin, Lavel, and Deshawn, to show our support for Mike and Marley, and to stand behind the players and the coaches of the football team. I expect the day and perhaps the entire season to be full of emotion. And yet I take heart in knowing that this oak, offering us a chance to remember and reflect, offering solace and shade, is firmly rooted here and will remain so for every season of our lives. Thank you. And now I'd like to invite our Director of Athletics, Dr. Carla Williams, to say a few words.
There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, including a time to plant and a time to heal. A group of classmates of Deshawn, Lavel, and Devin selected 3 words to symbolize each of them. Peace for Deshawn, love for Lavel, joy for Devin. Peace, love, and joy. I imagine this tree as time passes and it grows tall and strong, reaching upward with each passing day. Its roots stretching deep and wide, creating a beautiful tapestry of magnificent art under the earth, like our Renaissance man, Deshawn. Roots that are a source of strength and wisdom, an expansive system that is creative and expressive, and also foundational because it holds everything and everyone together. Because of this tapestry's stability and its presence, it brings a peaceful reassurance to all of us. Peace for Deshaun. Up from the roots, a tall, sturdy, strong trunk with long, athletic, and powerful limbs, taller than most trees. In fact, it towers above all other trees. Can you imagine this tree with me? It is a gentle giant, simply beautiful, with a smile as bright as the morning sun, and so wide it stretches from sunrise to sunset. This tree is determined to make a difference in its surroundings, and this tree has a heart of gold filled with love, love for Lavel. And its leaves, full of action, flowing with the breeze, moving with the wind, and bouncing with every raindrop. Leaves unfazed by the elements it endures, determined to dance. The sound of their movement draws attention to the tree, almost like laughter. Laughter that springs hope in each of us. Leaves, capturing the energy of sunlight to help give life to the tree. Leaves that not only bring life to the tree, but leaves that bring joy to the tree. Joy for Devin. That's how I will forever see this tree, and probably most trees the rest of my life. Peace, love, and joy. The roots, the trunk and limbs, and the leaves. Deshaun, Lavel, and Devin. Happy and Sean and the Perry family, Uncle Darren, Uncle Brandon, and the Chandler family, Marcy and Chico Sr. and the Davis family, Marley and the Morgan family, Mike and the Hollins family, Coach Elliott and the UVA football family, to President Ryan and the University of Virginia, to Charlottesville and our surrounding communities, and especially to those brave souls who are here today, who were on that bus that night with Devin, with Lavel, and with Deshaun. I want you all to know that weeping may endure for a night, but joy always comes in the morning. And I believe that any present suffering, they are not worth being compared to the glory that will be revealed in all of us. Thank you. We have received amazing support throughout this journey, especially from the Board of Visitors, and in particular from our rector. So please join me in welcoming Rector Robert Hardy.
Thank you, Carla and Jim, for these heartfelt words. Good afternoon. I speak today on behalf of the Board of Visitors, some of whom are here today. I'd like to recognize again the families, friends, and teammates of those who lost their lives or were injured on November 13th, 2022. I am the father of 5 boys. I cannot imagine how difficult it must be to be here today. We are here to remember Devin, Lavel, and Deshaun and to honor them as members of our university family. They will never be forgotten. Jim and Carla have spoken about those in the community who helped in time of tragedy and its aftermath. I would like to thank UVA Health, Student Affairs, and Student Health and Wellness, who cared for those who were injured physically and emotionally. I would also like to thank our critical incident management team, from university leadership to the first responders, who worked tirelessly to prevent any additional loss of life. It was truly a heroic effort. Our community's resilience constantly amazes me. We continue to move forward while never forgetting. We take strength from each other every day. As Jim mentioned, this tree planting symbolizes remembrance, but also gratitude and life. There are many trees on grounds that are well over 100 years old. We expect this young oak to grow and be enjoyed for many years, reminding us every day of Devin, Lavel, and Deshawn. To quote the poet Thomas Campbell, "To live in hearts we leave behind is not to die." Thank you again for coming today. I invite everyone to assist us in planting this beautiful tree. Jim, Carla, and I will start, and then please join us and stay for the reception afterwards. Amen.
Thank you all for coming. Everyone is invited to participate in the tree planting right now and joining in the reception across the street. Thank you.